Welcome back to the Scotland 9-hole Cup Expert Division qualifying round. Hole number 9. You're going to be setting up for a Thorn bounce-up shot. We're using a Kingmaker as our ball. This shot has not been tested with a Wind 4 ball. If you want to play this with a Kingslayer, Wind 4, Wind 5, you definitely need to test it and make sure that it still works the same way. I've only tested this shot with a Kingmaker. You need APOC 5 plus, Thorn 8 plus for the approach. And we're playing this one on the right hand side. What we're going to do is at P3 max rest, we're going to have our first bounce just out of the rough and into the fairway, like you see there. So you should get that first bounce on the ball guide, making sure we're getting that bounce. If it's clipping the rough, you won't see that. So slide it left just until you get the bounce. That is the starting position at P3 max rest. Uh, 5.8 topspin, 2 left spin. We're adjusting P3 plus 10% max, and we're always pushing back to max. You want to pull this one straight with a slight 1201 flicker. Don't forget to push back to max. If you're playing this with the APOC 4, you can set up with a P4 ball at the top of the plus 22. Full overpower, left curl, so that the center line is splitting the bottom tip of the broken part of the shot circle on the top. And I'll snap a picture over here on the left hand side and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you both of these drives and both of these approaches because I get two different rollouts here. One is 446, which is counting rings for men. It's about 21 rings for men. And the other on the left hand side is a longer rollout to, I want to say, right around 453, which is only about 17 rings from men. But as far as left curl, this is what we're looking for. We're going to left curl until our center line is splitting that broken part of the shot circle here. It's not letting me mark it up. But you can see what I'm talking about there. My center line is touching that top tip of the triangle. We're splitting it right there in the center of your screen. That's what we're looking for, left curl. Another reference, if you want, you can look over at the line that goes between the two balls. The right side of it is touching the left side of the triangle, right? And that's full overpower and left curl using one of those references. This shot has been great safe on both sides. So you should get anything between 445 and 455. And that's, you may even get a little bit longer, 457, 458. It's just less rings you'll have to count for men. So what we're going to do for our approach shot is we're going to find men thorn. We're going to set our spins. Our base spin is 5 backspin and 3 right spin. We're going to push up from min thorn, counting rings as we go until the tip of the ball guide is just going through the back center of the cup by about a cup. Now, this drive here on the right hand side, I had the shorter rollout, and you're going to see that I didn't get the tail of my ball guide like I wanted to. Generally, with the little bit longer rollout, and you'll see it on the left, you'll get the tail trailing off the end of the third bounce or fourth bounce. In this situation with the shorter rollout, I did not get that tail. So what I did was I just put the last bounce touching the front edge of the cup and then aimed center of the cup. Now this one's going to come in a little bit hot, but it still comes in center cup. And the only other thing that we need to pay attention to on this approach shot is making sure, well, there's a couple of things. We want to make sure that we're set up at least 3 rings from min, okay? That way you have enough room to make your adjustment. If you set up any closer to min than 3 rings, you will pull into your short iron, right? And it's going to screw you up. So make sure you're at least 3 rings from min. Also, the only other thing that we really need to pay attention to is making sure that we're set up on the green. So you want at least half of your red ring to be on the green and off of the fringe line down here. So this shot is actually slightly over adjusted. And so we're going to land a little bit further back than we're actually aiming. And if you set up too close to the fringe line and you catch that green fringe line with your first bounce, you're going to miss the shot. So make sure at least half the red ring is onto the green. You're going to add your base spin, 5 backspin, 3 right spin, push it up. The tip of the ball guide should be about a cup through the center of the hole. And if you need to, push up a little bit further so that you have the red ring onto the green by at least half. And if you need to, you can add a touch more backspin so that you're not going too long through the hole. The most important thing is don't set up too close to that green fringe line. It will throw off the shot if you hit that line. The adjustment for the approach is P3, 0% elevation at slider. We're using 1 ring per 1% slider from min. So every ring you count up is 1% slider. You count up, in this case, I was 21 rings from slider. I played it from min. I played it at 21 slider. And pull it straight. Do your best to hit perfect, and hopefully, you're grabbing the drop. If you catch a long rollout and you're in max Endbringer range, then what you're going to do is set up onto the green by at least a couple of rings, or at max Endbringer, right? And then spin it so that the ball guide is just going into the front of the cup. And then for every 2 squares short of the hole, then add 0.1 to max Endbringer. So it's, if you're playing the Endbringer, it plays P3 plus 10% max, P3 plus 10% max, set up at max, add spin so that the ball guide is just going into the front center of the cup, and then for every 2 squares you're short of the hole, add 0.1 to the adjustment you get for max Endbringer, P3 plus 10, right? So if you're 4 squares short, you'll take your max EB number and add 0.2 to it. For the longer rollout, I want to show you this because the ball guide looks much different. And I wanted to show you both rollouts and the way they both look, so that if you catch the shorter rollout, you're not sitting there freaking out, what do I do? That's how I made it. Now, even though it does come in a little bit hot, it still comes in center cup. And so as long as she's dropping, it's good in my opinion. But you see here, I've got my base spin, 5 back, 3 right added, and I've got just a little bit more than half of my red ring into the fairway, so I'm good there. I've got the tip of my ball guide about a cup through the back center of the hole, so I'm perfect there. I don't have to tweak any of the spins. Worst case scenario, if you're set up and that yellow ring is touching this line, just push it up a little bit, add a touch of backspin, just as much as you need, and then have it looking the same way. Just making sure that you're far enough onto the green so that green fringe line does not come into play. Trust me, if you hit it, you will miss the shot, right? Besides that, pull straight, hit perfect. And this one has been pretty consistent. I am 4 for 4 with this one. Not sure what Rock is, but I know he dropped it on the accounts that he played as well. So really good opportunity here. Practice it at least once or twice. Make sure you're getting those same results that we're getting. And if need to, make some minor tweaks and adjustment based on your pull style and the results that you're getting. Hopefully you'll be walking away from hole number 9 with the eagle, and hopefully you're also walking away from the qualifying round with a pretty decent score. So Rock shot a -18, I shot a -18 and a -19. So the notes are good. If you have any issues, get with me. We'll see if we can't figure out what's going on and try and make it right. Other than that, best of luck to everyone. I hope you all go out and smash it, and we'll see you on the next round.